Welcome to News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss. Here now the news for June 17, 2020. The firefighter that posed for a famed portrait with Mickey Mouse is on a ventilator as he battles COVID-19. KABC reports that Captain Dave Baker is among 7 Anaheim fire and rescue firefighters that have been diagnosed with the virus, with 5 under quarantine. The Detroit Fire Department added that Baker posed for the Disney artwork to honor firefighters as a rookie in 1993, claiming it's the only art to feature Mickey looking up at a human. The image has been used in various merchandise and all sorts of places over the years. Anaheim City spokesperson Mike Lister said in a statement that 4 of the firefighters have recovered from the virus, with 1 in isolation at home and 2 in the ICU, adding that they, quote-unquote, believe that the first original case was related to exposure on a call serving our community. Our thoughts are with Baker's family and that of the entire Anaheim Fire and Rescue team. As stay-at-home orders are lifting, more and more necessities have begun to reopen, and with Disney Springs now back to life, the Speedway gas station across the street has reopened after having closed back in April. For those commuting from afar, gas prices remain fairly low, as always. The Speedway location is one of 3 across Disney property. The one near the Magic Kingdom has remained open throughout, while the Speedway by the Boardwalk Resort remains closed. This one, located right across from Disney Springs, is perfect for anyone in the area. With the Walt Disney World theme parks reopening in just under a month now, Walt Disney World has modified its annual pass holder admission calendar to reflect the new theme park reservation system. New verbiage acknowledges the launch of the new reservation system that is taking place, quote-unquote, soon. All dates marked in green means that a reservation will be required and that pass holder can make one for those dates. And this varies, of course, by pass type. Platinum Pass obviously has dates earlier than others. Of course, passes with blockout dates don't show any green dates until those blockout dates are lifted. Do note that official park reopenings do not begin until July 11th for Magic Kingdom and Disney's Animal Kingdom, followed by Epcot and Hollywood Studios on July 15th. The online check-in service on My Disney Experience has been updated to include new features and details on housekeeping at resorts moving forward. The new segment on housekeeping marks a change in how room cleaning is typically performed. Light cleaning service includes emptying trash bins, providing fresh bathroom linens, replacing bathroom amenities, and replenishing facial tissues, toilet paper, coffee, sugar, cream, and sweeteners. No word on if beds will be made, but probably not. Disney still retains the right to enter rooms at any time for maintenance, safety, security, or any other purpose, even if the room is occupied. If you opt out of the housekeeping service and there is more than one room on your reservation, the selection will apply to all rooms on the reservation. On June 22nd, select DVC resorts and Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground will reopen at Walt Disney World. Ahead of check-in, guests are required to confirm, modify, or cancel their upcoming reservations. As we mentioned in an earlier story about the addition of reservations required labels for annual pass holders, it was shown that reservations would be required through at least June of 2021, meaning a full year of the new theme park reservation system. Of course, these calendars can or may well change as we near the reopening of the parks and after that, of course. However, additional information is surfacing that there is potential that the system will in fact be used through 2021. A tweet from Scott Gustin indicates that multiple travel agencies based in the UK have received communication from Disney that suggests the reservation system will be around for a while. Given that Disney is currently overhauling its existing system of FastPass Plus, dining plans, and more in order to accommodate this new system, it seems that this will be around for a while, not just as something temporary. Disney has yet to release the full details on how the theme park reservation system will work, but so far we know that pass holders will be limited in how many reservations they can have at a time, and reservations can only be made for one theme park at a time, meaning that there will be no park hopping for the time being. Walt Disney World Resort guests will soon be able to make dining reservations for their upcoming stays. Phone lines will open on June 18th for guests with valid resort reservations from June 22nd through July 10th. Only guests with confirmed resort reservations can make dining reservations at this time. To make your dining reservations, call 407-824-1391. At this time, online dining reservations via My Disney Experience are not available. Ahead of the reopening of the resort hotels, Disney has announced a new mobile dine check-in feature on My Disney Experience. This new feature will allow guests to bypass the host stand for check-in, minimizing contact to support social distancing across the resort. Now you can check in for dining and reservations at select table service restaurants via My Disney Experience. This convenient feature enables you to maximize your vacation time with family and friends, minimize your contact with others. Note that mobile check-in is only supported by device running Android or iOS with the latest version of the My Disney Experience app installed and location services enabled. While not initially available when mobile dine check-in was announced earlier, a full list of participating restaurants across Walt Disney World has been released, and you can go ahead to our website at wdwnt.com to find out all about which restaurants at Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios will be participating eventually. According to reports by NBA analyst Kevin O'Connor, each team that has made it past the first round of the playoffs will be allowed to reserve up to 17 rooms at Walt Disney World. With dozens of rooms already being allocated to players and staff, this additional 136 rooms will limit availability at Walt Disney World as the parks are in the beginning stages of reopening. The second round of the playoffs at ESPN Wide World of Sports is slated to start around September 1st, approximately 7 weeks after those reopenings. With there already being a potential shortage of rooms due to the multiple-month closure of Walt Disney World, this poses an interesting challenge to accommodate guests wishing to stay at the resort. Disney also announced today that guests wishing to dine at the resort must have a hotel reservation, putting an additional premium on having one. In addition, any player that leaves the Orlando campus, i.e. Wide World of Sports and other approved areas, will be subjected to a 10 to 14-day mandatory self-quarantine. They will also see their pay reduced for any games that they may miss while this is going on. Thanks to Yahoo Sports' Keith Smith, we learned that Grandestino Tower at Coronado Springs is expected to be the main hub, with top-seeded teams like the Milwaukee Bucks, Los Angeles Lakers, and the Toronto Raptors being housed there. Meanwhile, the Grand Floridian and the Yacht Club will host lower-seeded teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Orlando Magic, and the Washington Wizards. But in sports, everybody loves an underdog, so lower-seeded teams that upset higher-seeded teams in the playoffs may be asked to relocate to Grandestino Tower to allow staff to prepare rooms and switch those seedings, by the way. Higher-seed teams less likely to win. They may be asked to move from the Grand Floridian or Yacht Club. This, however, hasn't been determined for sure, but teams mingling with other teams may be allowed at the same resort, subject to NBA approval. Similar to required health declaration at other Disney parks like Hong Kong Disneyland, which will reopen later this week, Walt Disney World has released a health acknowledgement that all guests must abide by before entering property. Quote, please make sure that you have reviewed any advisories or restrictions that may be in place for travel to Florida. By entering Walt Disney World Resort, you are confirming that you and all persons in your party are not experiencing any of the following symptoms of COVID-19 identified by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention at cdc.gov, including fever or chills, cough, shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, fatigue, muscle or body aches, headache, new loss of taste or smell, sore throat, congestion or runny nose, nausea or vomiting, diarrhea, that you have not been in contact with someone with confirmed or suspected COVID-19 symptoms without completing a 14-day quarantine, and are not under any self-quarantine orders. Guests who cannot confirm all the above criteria will not be allowed to enter Walt Disney World Resort. Disney Vacation Club recently announced that they would reopen their Walt Disney World resorts to members and guests. Of course, that starts next week. However, guests were not able to make reservations at Animal Kingdom Lodge Jambo House for the rest of the year. This sparked speculation as to why. Of course, at one point, people thought the NBA players were staying there, but it's been noted that DVC has confirmed Jambo House closure through the initial period of reopening, and all members with reservations at Jambo House will instead be redirected to Kidani Village. Disney has announced that the popular award-winning Orlando bakery Gideons Bakehouse is opening a new location at the Landing at Disney Springs. Anticipating to open later this year, Gideons is best known for its small batch, handmade, almost half-pound cookies. These were typically available at the Play Pig in Disney Springs up until recently. Not only does their size make these cookies so special, Gideons brings its own spin to cookie flavors with peanut butter crisp, cookies and cream, and pistachio toffee dark chocolate. That one's particularly good, by the way. Gideons plans to bring an expanded menu of cookies and cake slices to Disney Springs, plus they also are planning to add its own line of unique iced coffees like the original peanut butter iced coffee. Of course, guests can expect to find their favorite cookie flavors along with new and limited edition flavors offered during special daily releases. The ever-popular coffee cake cookie, previously only available 1 month a year, will be on sale every morning with a hot cookie hour each evening for those looking to cure a sweet tooth after dinner. Guests can also look forward to collectible art becoming a part of the product packaging at the new bakery, which will be located in the Landing across from Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar. The new Gideons location is being created with health and safety considerations in mind, and its operations will be modeled to similar guidelines in use elsewhere at Disney Springs. Gideons is fantastic, not so much the the cold cookies they would sell you at Play Pig, but if you go to their actual Orlando location, it's really spectacular. So I'm super excited. It has been reported that starting Wednesday and going through Sunday, there will be a helicopter activity throughout Walt Disney World. Disney will be performing park flyovers to obtain reference footage for future use. Of course, this is different from the helicopter hobbyists who regularly take flights over the park, many of which we share photos from on our website. It seems that Disney has already begun these flyovers today, with helicopters seen winding over the Magic Kingdom. An employee at the T-Rex Cafe in Disney Springs has reportedly tested positive for COVID-19. The employee reportedly worked at the location for 2 weeks while sick and has since been on leave. Managers at the location have been informing employees on an individual basis to make them aware. At this time, there are no official statements from T-Rex regarding the reported case. T-Rex reopened at Disney Springs on May 20th to long lines of guests. The only other Landry's restaurant at Disney Springs, the Rainforest Cafe, has yet to reopen. Disney's on-site transportation teams are getting ready to welcome back guests, and while the theme parks remain closed, complimentary transportation from Disney Resort hotels to Disney Springs will resume next week. Disney Springs area resorts like the Saratoga Springs Resort will have access to boats in limited operation. However, most other resorts will simply rely on bus service. We spotted a number of Disney buses stationed at each resort shade structure. The buses were parked almost as if they were training or doing some sort of rehearsal for the reopening, and all through the queues, social distancing markers have been placed along the ground. While Disney Resort buses have often been the subject of many on-site transportation jokes and woes, words cannot describe how happy we are to see them back in action. Also, setup has begun for the new security screening and temperature screening area, I should say, that'll be happening for these guests arriving via bus. Disneyland has released its enhanced health and safety measures ahead of the proposed phased reopening, set to begin on July 9th with Downtown Disney, followed by Disneyland Park and California Adventure on July 17th, and the Grand Californian Hotel and Paradise Pier Hotel on July 23rd. The statement reads, quote, "We recognize that the COVID-19 situation is constantly evolving, which is why our reopening approach is deliberately fluid and phased, and there are many factors that are helping us determine the timing of when various aspects of our business will reopen in a responsible way. In addition to following existing state and local guidelines, which continue to evolve, we currently are working with our unions to responsibly and thoughtfully implement new health and safety measures for cast members. These enhanced health and safety measures include enhanced protective measures, physical distancing, temperature checks, limited contact enhancements, and enhanced cleaning and sanitation." We have a new update on the pending reopening of Disneyland Paris, which, besides Tokyo Disney Resort, remains the only other Disney parks location around the world still closed. Rumors have been circulating regarding a potential July 15th reopening, and on June 22nd, it's expected that Natasha Rafalski, president of Disneyland Paris, will announce the official reopening. Disneyland Paris will reopen at a park capacity reportedly of 12,000 people in each of their parks, both Disneyland Paris and the Walt Disney Studios. One of the resort hotels is expected to open around the same time as the theme parks as well, likely to be the Newport Bay Hotel, but that hasn't been announced yet. Extra Magic Time for resort guests and pass holders will resume, and including those extra Magic Time hours, park hours are expected to be 8 to 7 for Disneyland Paris and 8 to 6 for Walt Disney Studios. The Arendelle expansion at Hong Kong Disneyland seems to have continued during the temporary closure. We're getting closer to the 2021 opening date. Thanks to Twitter user HKDL of Fantasy, we got a glimpse of the upcoming the vehicles for the upcoming clone of Frozen Ever After from Epcot. The boats, which are quite different from those in use at Epcot, arrived at the resort this week. The ride is reportedly a clone of the Epcot attraction minus these new vehicles. Obviously, the Maelstrom boats were reused at the Epcot one. For more details about the upcoming Frozen-themed expansion of Hong Kong Disneyland, including the latest on Wandering Oaken Sliding Sleighs, a unique e-ticket ride, you can visit our website. Ever since it was announced that Hong Kong Disneyland's castle would receive a majestic transformation into the Castle of Magical Dreams, wonder what website announced that, fans have speculated what the castle would look like in reality after being given the concept art. Fans no longer have to wait, as the Castle of Magical Dreams is nearly complete and ready to greet guests at the park reopening on June 18th. A series of photo updates and screenshots from Twitter user @CyberBLawrence reveals the castle's facade as the park prepares for the imminent reopening. The castle is still flanked on the sides with scaffolding, and there's some in the back as well, so there's still some final touches to be done, but mostly it's unveiled. When completed, the castle replacing Sleeping Beauty Castle will feature details inspired by 13 stories of Disney princesses and heroines. It will also serve as a home to a new outdoor stage show venue and the new Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. The castle is only part of Hong Kong Disneyland's multi-year transformation, which includes the aforementioned Frozen expansion and the Marvel e-ticket, which they have remained silent on for some time, and many people think is just not happening at this point. New merchandise was spotted this week at Disney Springs, including a color-changing Evil Queen mug. It's pretty cool for $19.99. New Disney Youth socks in a pack for $24.99 at the World of Disney. And online at Shop Disney, available for pre-order, there's a new purse from Danielle Nicole featuring everyone's favorite little chef, Remy, from Ratatouille, costing $68. For more information on these stories and more, head on over to WDWNT.com. If you're enjoying the show, be sure to like this video, subscribe to WDW News Today on YouTube for more great content, and click the bell for notifications. Also, make sure to select all notifications so you never miss an episode of News Today. Also, make sure to subscribe to our new channel, Universal Parks News Today, which once a week has a show similar to this one, but just with all the news from the Universal Parks around the world. You can also check out our new site at universalparksnewstoday.com. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Stay safe, everybody.
WDW News Tonight is our weekly comedy show combining the news of the week, comedy segments, thoughtful discussions, insane characters, parody commercials, games, and more. Watch live on Thursdays at 9 p.m. and become a Wigs member to get access to a bonus post show. Watch WDW News Tonight episodes anytime and live on YouTube, or get the audio-only version on iTunes and other podcast services.